Hey everyone. So we wanted to go ahead and put together a few instructional videos on using the Zoom app, available both on your iPhone, Android device, or iPad to do online presentations with Homeowner over the internet. I'm going to go ahead and cover a few things, including the benefits of using Zoom, as well as the setup, so you know how to actually use the software and set it up, and then some of the best practices to make sure that homeowners are getting the same experience over the internet as if you were sitting down in front of them. So we use Zoom actually already quite a bit in the office, whether we're doing a one-on-one meeting with somebody or doing our Friday meetings. It's a very easy to use app, but it has a lot of features packed into it, which is probably what makes it the most popular app for one-on-one web conferences. Aside from it being free, which is a big key. So when homeowners are actually going to be doing these meetings with you over the internet, they don't actually have to do anything other than just download the app onto their device. There's not even a sign-on required. They don't have to create an account. So it makes it really easy. From a presenter standpoint, you do have to create an account, which we'll go over, but there is no cost. It's completely free to do a one-on-one meeting with somebody. It's got some great features, such as being able to select exactly what you show on their screen so they're not seeing your entire screen, which I think is key during one of these presentations. It also has things like marking up the screen so you can point out specific things to them, as well as a whiteboard. And so you'll be able to kind of draw your different things that you're normally doing in person and be able to show them that, as well as zoom into certain parts of the screen. So you can really focus in as you're talking and as you're sort of driving that process, which is the important thing here, right? Because you could email somebody the proposal, but what's going to happen, right? You're going to email it to them, and then they're just going to start flipping right through it. They're not going to follow along. They just want to go right to the numbers because that's what homeowners want to do. And so by doing it over Zoom, you're going to be able to drive that process, and you're going to be able to show them the benefits exactly the same way that you would do it in person. So I think it's a great platform. We'll go over all its different steps of how to set it up, how to do the best practice so that the homeowner has a good experience and that you're really kind of controlling that environment. So one of the big benefits, of course, of using something like Zoom to do one-on-one web conferences with homeowners is that you can still show them the benefits of solar remotely, right? So you don't have to go to their home, especially given the current environment with the virus. There are homeowners that are worried about that. They are trying to limit their contact with people. And so this allows you to still show them in a professional manner the proposal. Allows you to go over all the benefits, go over all the numbers, and really do everything remotely. This will be a benefit for you even in the future for things like other markets, other states, other cities, and then maybe even to be able to fit more appointments into your day, right? So it takes away obviously the travel time, and they can really have a good experience even doing this platform. Now let's go ahead and go into how to download and set up the app on your iPad. Now I keep mentioning iPad versus something like an iPhone or just a regular phone is because you're going to want to use a tablet to do this on. There are features in the app that only work from a tablet. They don't work on the phone. And so you're going to want to use a tablet. It's going to be a better experience when you're showing it to the homeowner, even though most likely they're going to be looking at it on their phone. But you with the presentation in front of you with the PDF on your iPad, it's going to be easier to navigate through. It's going to be easier to do things like the whiteboarding. It's going to be easier to do things like the markup. And those features are tablet exclusive. They're not available on the phone. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download the app. So we're going to do that by going to the App Store and then searching for Zoom. And once you pull the app up, go ahead and hit download on it, and that will download to your device. Now, if you've downloaded before, it's just going to show you a little cloud. If not, it'll just say get. So go ahead and click that, and that'll download the app. Now go ahead and open the app once you have it downloaded, and then you're going to have to go ahead and sign up for an account if you don't already have one. Now again, homeowners don't have to sign up for an account. For them, all they have to do is join a meeting, but as a presenter, you do need an account to be able to send somebody out an invitation and have them see your screen. So go ahead and click the sign up button, enter your email address, and just go ahead and click on the sign up button. Now what that's going to do is going to send you a verification email that will then get you to set up your password, and that's all there is to it. Go ahead and click on OK. go to your email, and then just go ahead and click on Activate Account. Enter in the password that you want, and then go ahead and click Continue. Now, the other thing it's going to ask you is if you want to invite anybody else to set up a free Zoom account. Obviously, you don't have to do that, so just go ahead and click to skip that step, and you're done. Next, let's go ahead and open the app and log in. So you're just going to go ahead and click on the Sign In button, enter in the login that you created, and go ahead and sign in. It's going to ask you a few things like, do you want it to send notifications? Do you want to save your password? Do you want to use Face ID? It's very straightforward. New meeting, you can join a meeting, you can schedule a meeting, you can share your screen. The share the screen is more if you were in a meeting yourself that you're joining, that somebody else is hosting. The one that you're going to want to do here is the new meeting option. It's very easy to start a meeting, although before you do, I highly recommend that you go ahead and turn on Do Not Disturb. That way you don't get interrupted during the meeting, and also the person on the other side doesn't see the notifications such as text message and emails. But to go ahead and start the meeting, just click on New Meeting. You're then just going to go ahead and start a meeting, and that'll bring up the video. So this is what it looks like once you launch it. Now it's important to note that even though there's a meeting going on right now, you haven't invited anybody, and so nobody actually sees you. This gives you an opportunity to kind of set everything up, have everything up on your screen, so that when you do send out the invitation to the homeowner, they'll be able to see exactly what you want them on the screen. We'll go over some more of the best practices for that in a little bit, but I kind of just want to share a couple of features on here. So you've got your mute, which obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got your stop video, and so that'll actually stop the video. So once you invite the person, they're not going to see you. Although I do recommend that you keep that on, because that's the it's going to give that homeowner that experience as if you're there with them. They get to know you a little bit. They get to see who they're working with. You've got your share content button, which will go over more in depth on how to properly share that, because you could share your whole screen, which is not what I would recommend to do, because then they are going to, as you're moving around different apps and pulling different things up from your email, like the proposal, they're going to be able to see that. So that's not what the experience that you want them to have. And then you've got your participants, which is how you're going to actually invite the homeowner. And so to invite the homeowner to the actual meeting, you're just going to go ahead and click on invite, and then you can send them an email. You can also send them a text message if you are using a iPad that's connected to iPhone and allows you to send out text messages. But you can easily send an email address. It'll bring up an actual link for them to join. All you have to do is just go ahead and enter in their email address. So now that you have your meeting going, you're going to want to go ahead and share the proposal with the homeowner. And so I actually recommend getting that set up and on the screen, downloaded, everything ready to go before you actually have them join the meeting. Otherwise, again, I think it's going to create some, some dead air. It's going to create some pausing while you're kind of trying to get that figured out. And so go ahead and share that first. And you're going to get your proposal in your email like normal. And you're going to want to go ahead and put that proposal into your Icloud drive, which if you have an iPad, everybody has that already from Apple. The other option is to just show them the actual whole screen. But again, in that situation, you're going to be on the screen. You're going to be having to go like this. You're going to be pulling up your email. You're going to be going to your email. They're going to see all this stuff on your screen, right? And so doing it the other way, where you are sharing the content first, when they join the meeting, they're just going to see that on your screen. So to go ahead and do that, you're going to go ahead and download the proposal to your iCloud drive. So in order to do that, go to the email, pull up the proposal, okay? You're going to want to tap to download. And again, a lot of this stuff you're going to want to kind of do ahead of time, right? Be prepared before the meeting starts. Click on the proposal, and then you're going to want to go ahead and click on share. And this is where you can go ahead and open it up in your iCloud drive by going to save to files, okay? And this is going to, it's going to show you a few different options if you have Google Drive, other things like that. But iCloud Drive is the one that's going to allow you to share it directly from there. So just click on that and then click on Save. Go ahead and get back into the Zoom app. And then when you go to share content, now you see your options, right? So now you've got your screen, your photos, you can share your iCloud Drive, Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, so on and so forth. And so go ahead and click on iCloud Drive, and then you're gonna see everything that you have in your iCloud Drive. And here is the latest proposal that I saved there, okay? When you click on that, it's gonna go ahead and pop up on the screen. And so now this is what, when your homeowner logs in to the actual presentation via the Zoom app, they're just gonna go ahead and see your presentation on the screen. Now let's go ahead and invite the homeowner to the meeting. We're gonna do that by clicking on participants and then click on invite. And we're gonna go ahead and do this one by email. Again, you do have the option if you wanna send them a text message, which may be easier, but that's only if your iPad is connected to your cell phone and allows you to send and receive text messages. So we'll go ahead and do send email. We'll go ahead and enter an email address here. And I went ahead and set up another cell phone here on the left side. That way you can see the experience that the homeowner is going to have when they receive the email, and also what their screen is going to look like versus what you're seeing on your end. So let's go ahead and open up the email on this one. And then they're going to go ahead and get a link that they click on. And that's going to give them an opportunity to download the app if they don't already have it, or join the meeting. So we'll go ahead and download the app from the App Store. Now, once they're done downloading the app, they can obviously open it from here. And so that's going to allow them to join a meeting, which if they do that, you can actually give them the meeting ID, which you'll see here at the top. So you can read that off to them and they can enter that in, or they can go back to their email and click on join meeting. It's going to ask them if they want to open it in Zoom. It's going to ask them for their name. It will ask them if they want access to the camera. So if the homeowner doesn't want you to see them, they do have that option. We'll go ahead and allow that, and that'll give them a view of themselves. So once they join the meeting, they'll be able to see the solar proposal on their screen, but they're not going to see other things that are happening on your screen. So for example, if you need to go back into your email to reference something, or maybe even if you need to pull up a text message, whatever it might be, they're not going to be able to actually see those items, right? All they're going to see is the actual proposal, and they'll see you up in the corner of the screen on the video. What's really great about this is you really get to drive this process, right? So as you're flipping through the different screens, that's going to show up on their screen, right? If you want to highlight something to them, for example, you want to talk about the payment. As you do that, that's going to show up on their screen. It's going to zoom into that area. As you move around, again, that's going to move up around on their screen. One of the other great features that this has is that it does have a markup feature, which is down here. It's actually a preview of the homeowner, right? So since I allowed the video on that end, this is actually, this will be them in that situation. And obviously that gets in your way. You can go ahead and minimize that. But back to the markup, right? You've got a pen feature here. You've got, the color you want to use, the thickness. And so if there's something particular that you may want to highlight to them, right? You can do that and they'll see that on their screen on this end, right? You also have your clear buttons down here, so to get rid of that. You've also got a whiteboard. And so with the whiteboard, you can do your presentation. You can do your line about, fixed payment versus APS going up and all the different kind of things that you might be normally showing them in person. So that's really great to have that feature and kind of keep it interactive and really be able to do your process as you normally would. And once you're done with your presentation, you can go ahead and click on Stop Share, and that's going to take you back to the video where you're one-on-one with the homeowner. Another great feature about this is it does have a chat feature. And so what's great about that is you can go ahead and send the homeowner links or other things through there, which makes it easier for them to access. So for example, let's say that you're ready to move forward with the LoanPal application, okay? You can go ahead and click on More and then click on Chat, okay? And here you can go ahead and put in the LoanPal link. Go ahead and click send. And they're going to go ahead and get it on their device. And so when they click on that, they can just go ahead and come right up on their screen, and they can just go ahead and fill it out while you're on the phone with them. So there's any questions such as, what's the contract amount? What do I put in for the rep email address, so on and so forth. They can do that while still, putting in their own personal information and then being able to sign here at the end, and approving that application to be ran. So really great feature. Once they're done with that, they can click up here and get back into the actual meeting. So a few best practices that I would recommend while you're doing this. First of all, you're going to want to be professionally dressed. Treat this as if you are in their home. So have a Sun Solar shirt on, have a polo, have a button up. You're going to want to be in a office-like environment, or somewhere obviously in your house, a clean spot. You don't want to be in the kitchen with a bunch of stuff behind you, for example. In my video here, I'm in my home office. Zoom does have a green screen background option. It works okay in my experience. There's a couple stock images that they have in there. I actually tried to add in different images, and for some reason every time I tried, it would freeze up the program. And so I'm not sure if that's a bug that they're currently having or what's going on with that, but that didn't work very well. I would recommend turning off notifications so that you don't have any distractions on your phone, as well as if you are doing it from home, and there are people at home, giving them a notice that you're jumping on a call, and that way they're not distracting you, they're not running around making noise in the background. The other thing is the phone orientation. And so as you guys noticed in the videos, I've been doing all this in portrait mode, and while the actual PDF and so forth is actually in landscape, I find that a lot of people, obviously naturally use their phones in portrait. So having them explain to them to turn their phone sideways in landscape, they might have a setting on that they don't even know where it won't allow the phone to do that. And so I think it's best to actually leave it in portrait mode, and present it that way, because they're used to that way, and that way you're not spending time on trying to figure out why isn't it working. Then it's kind of taken away from your actual presentation. The other thing is your iPad, right? So when you're using an iPad, go ahead and set it up against something, so that it is, to the homeowner, it looks like you're in front of them, right? So you're going to want to set that against something sturdy where you can go ahead and use it, and it's going to stay there during the duration of your presentation. One other thing is the microphone. So your phone has a speakerphone and a microphone, and so you can certainly use that. But in my testing, I found that if you use something like headphones or like AirPods, which I've been using in this entire video, there's actually less background noise, and the sound quality is going to be a bit higher than if you're just using the phone without any kind of microphone or earbuds. And so if you do have something like that available to you, I think that's another good thing that you can use. Final recommendation would be to test this out before you actually do this for the first time with the homeowner. Okay, so just set up a test meeting, make sure that everything works. Do a email to your spouse, your friend, whoever that might be. Make sure that they can connect properly. Make sure that they see your screen. Kind of maybe get their feedback on how everything looks. And once you're doing this with the homeowner, you're not fiddling around trying to figure out what each button does and what you should be clicking on. You want the homeowner to have that confidence in you and in the process, to where they feel that, again, this is just the way that solar is presented. So those are just a couple key things to just have a nice professional presentation, where the homeowner is going to feel that they're working with a professional company, they're working with a professional at this, and that it's not the first time ever doing this, right? You want to give that impression that you're experienced at this, that you've done this before, and it's a very normal kind of process. And that's it. So those are the benefits and features of Zoom. I really do like the product. I think it's great. I really do. I think that it's something that we're going to see a lot more of. It's getting very popular with a lot of businesses, right? I've actually done a doctor's appointment over Zoom, and was actually able to see the doctor. They were able to see me, get a prescription that way. I've been able to even do a notary over an app with video, where I'm seeing the notary, they're seeing me. I sign right on the screen, and then they actually email the doc over to me. And so it's getting a lot more popular. Homeowners are They're busy. It actually makes it more convenient for them. They're more comfortable. They don't have to necessarily get ready for the meeting, get the house ready, some of those things. Same thing even for you to, cut out all that drive time. And so that gives you more time to, meet with more people, be more productive, right? So it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. It's a great tool to start using now because I think we'll see a lot more of it in the future. And so I hope everybody embraces it. I hope everybody got what they needed out of this video. And thank you so much. We'll see everybody later.